So mainly your training camps are usually in Chicago, and then sometimes for the last fight, you all obviously headed out and trained with Khabib and the boys.
I mean, my training camps are all in Chicago, and then when I fought in Dubai, I had the full camp out there with them. And then whenever they're in town, yeah, I'm gonna go down there and train with them. And yeah, my couple of my training partners will come down with me, and we'll get a lot of work in with those guys. Like anytime I get a chance to go train with those guys, I'm gonna take it because I learned so much. Whether it's a week, 2 weeks, that time is priceless.
What do you think? Like, say the three most important things like Khabib taught you, or lessons you learned from Khabib.
One of the biggest I would say is just there's no tricks to it. It's just hard work. Like they push. I think they push themselves harder than 90% of these gyms out here. Because I trained at multiple gyms and I've seen how multiple guys train, and they push you past that limit. And I feel like also win every round. There's how there's some practices where you're like, oh, let's just flow roll or let's just play spar, or they go every round to win, and they don't want to lose every round. And even when it's a real sparring match, like spar that, like don't take it easy. Spar that match to win the match. I had a couple of guys where one of my boys I train with, his name is Adil. He's a really great kickboxer, and he was sparring one of Habib's guys. And Habib's in one corner, and then we're in the other cornering my guy, and he's cornering his guy, trying to make it seem like a real fight. And whenever he took my guy down, he was dominating him on the ground. So then I think he got like bored taking him down, so he wanted to stand on the feet with him. But my guy's a good striker, so my guy started out striking him, and Khabib like stopped it, and he's like, "What are you doing? Why would you strike with him? When you take him down, he's like a baby. Now when you're on the feet, he has a chance to win." So like it just puts it into perspective, right? Like you're not gonna do that in a real fight. So why are you doing that in sparring? Taking unnecessary hits, unnecessary damage, like win every round.
Mm-hmm. Just like, yeah, competition training, competition sparring, you're just trying to win every round. So when you say they train like harder than anyone, is it mostly when they're grappling, or is there a lot of people that are getting knocked out there when they're sparring that hard all the time?
No, they're not knocking each other out. I mean, like every day we're hitting everything, right? It's a full MMA day. So you're hitting like,
that makes sense.
They're sparring. Some guys have their hard rounds, and then some guys are outside doing technical rounds. And then you're wrestling hard. When it's wrestling time, you're wrestling hard. And when you're grappling, it's grappling hard. Like I'm off my back and I'm trying to play guard, and they're like, "No, you get up. Like we're not playing guard. We're standing up. Like don't play jujitsu. Like if you're on your back, you're losing." So like that's what I mean when I say that. You're getting like your 5 rounds of grappling, 5 rounds of wrestling, and then whatever your rounds of sparring are, you're getting your rounds of sparring in. And then afterward, we're hitting, all right, now we're going to hit a plank for 5 minutes straight, or we're going to hit a plank and push-ups or a plank and sit-ups. Like when you think it's over, then he has like a body weight workout, and you're like, bro, I'm like, my body's breaking right now. But your body adjusts, your body learns from it, and your body toughens up.
Yeah, that's one thing I got from watching his YouTube videos that I like that he does. He doesn't always just separate the grappling and the striking days. He'll have guys grapple, then he'll have guys put on their gloves and hit the bag, and then back on the Airdyne and just do the full body thing all the time. That's one thing I've took for him that's really good. So when these guys, do they train early in the morning and then later in the afternoon? And do they give themselves a lot of time to recovery? Because if they train that hard, their recovery's got to be next level too, is it?
Yeah, they're very smart with it, right? After every session, like at the end of the practices, he does a good job of like breaking down the practice and like telling guys what they did wrong, what they didn't do wrong. And while we're sitting around, he's making sure you guys stretch, you're getting your movement in, whatever your adjustments are. And their night session is later. So the morning session is always the hard session. The night session is either like technical pad work, or you're hitting your jog, or you're hitting the bike, or you're hitting like your weights. But you're not having 2 super hard sessions. It's a hard session, and then a night session is more technical, geared toward whatever your fight is.